Well, you've got a good record against Collingwood. Does that give you extra confidence? Carlton, I should say. Pick the bloke who's just come back from 2 months in Europe, sorry.
I wish we had a good record against Collingwood. I've got a terrible record against Collingwood.
Was it 7 out of the last 8?
Yeah, but I mean that's largely irrelevant to this playing group. I mean, since this coaching staff and this playing group's come together, we've only really played them once. So, you know, we don't think we can take anything out of that performance Friday night last year either. So, you know, the record from our perspective is largely irrelevant.
Do you not take any sort of psychological edge out of that, though?
No. Supporters love it though. I'm sure the supporters will give it to the Carlton supporters, but no, the players don't. You know, our old coach of mine used to say about 4 weeks is all that's relevant in modern footy. Anything beyond that's ancient history. So, you know, I think that still applies today. So much changes so quickly that, you know, your long-term record is largely irrelevant.
It's a pretty good opportunity though, isn't it, to maybe get that higher end side in yourself?
Yeah, great opportunity. I think that we're going to get a really good test in all the areas that we've worked really hard on, and our young midfielders have really improved, and you know, as a group I think we're improving, and we're coming up against the best midfield in the competition. You know, all the names say that, and the numbers and the statistics support that, so you know, it's going to be a great challenge for us in there.
Do you get a bit not nervous about it? I guess the record against the top four is well known. It's Friday night footy, it's another chance for everyone watching. How's you sort of feeling on the lead up to the week?
No, we're excited. I mean, we're excited to test ourselves. I mean, we trained really hard. You know, we've got ourselves into a position after a poor start earlier in the year. We've got ourselves in a position where, you know, we think we're in that middle band of teams that can compete to try and get a finals berth. So, you know, we think we're right in the mix there, and we get to test ourselves out, and it's a great stage to do that on a Friday night.
You mentioned the midfield, just with their forward line, Betts, Walker, and Gartland in particular.
Yep.
How highly do you rate them as sort of a small trio? Is it they up there with sort of Miles, Johnson, Chapman? Are they, or anyone else?
Oh, different types of players. I think Betts and Garlett are probably the two form small forwards in the competition as a pair. You know, I think Stephen Milne's obviously in good form too, but as a pair, you know, Betts and Garlett have been doing some real damage. You know, we all saw last week what Walker's capable of if you let him jump at the ball. So, yeah, I've got a lot of time for their forward half, and you know, with Matty Cruiser as a genuine ruckman, is also a genuine forward. So they've got a lot of options down there, and you know, I think both sides will be looking at trying to restrict the supply into the opposing team's forward line.
So in your attack, you have to feel you're a chance to exploit them there, but if you want to miss the defence.
Oh yeah, but I think, you know, a lot of great sides build their defence on a pretty good midfield. You know, I think their midfield protects their defence fairly well, because they're the, you know, more than anyone else in the competition, they get the ball going their way. So, you know, I think it's going to be a matter of getting the ball into our forward line enough to give ourselves a chance.
Thomas had a great game against him last time, so
yeah.
See a chance to come back.
No, he won't come back. He's had the two in the VFL and has performed quite well, but we've still got some things we want him to work on, and he won't come back into the side.
Is he sort of making progress on those issues?
Yeah, he is. I mean, I think the thing that people forget about Lindsay, I mean, everyone wants to focus on the goal kicking issues, but you know, he's had more shots at goal than Betts and Garlett, you know, before he went out of the side. So, you know, I'm saying on one hand that Betts and Garlett are the best small forwards in the competition. Well, you know, Thomas is getting the shots. So once he rectifies his issues, we know what a dangerous player he can be. But you know, we're determined to get those right before we bring him back in and expose him to AFL footy.
Was Hamish close this week?
No, he wasn't, to be honest. I mean, we you know, we know that he's certainly a player capable of being in our best 22. But right at the moment, we're happy with the structure we've got. You know, he had a really good second half for Werribee last week. Almost got them over the line single-handedly. So, you know, we know he's not far away.
Previous counter Judd. What do you do with him?
Well, we're hoping that he's, you know, the baby might come a bit later, and that might be one way of countering it. But we haven't got. No, look, we're just going to have to rely on a team effort in there. I don't think we can. You know, we'll certainly put a lot of time into him, but there's no foolproof method to stopping him. So we saw how damaging he was last week, and you know, he's a Brownlow favourite again. So, you know, but we're also conscious that Mark Murphy's, you know, leading the Coaches' Votes Award this year. So, you know, he's someone we can't let off the leash either. And when you throw Simpson and Scotland and Robinson and all those guys in the mix, we're not just going to be focused on one player.
Previous to games against some of the top four sides this year, you've spoken about the need to break out of your weight division. Given where you sit on the ladder at the moment, a few rounds to go until the finals, is this the night where you really need to do it?
Oh, I think everyone's important. I mean, the one thing about our run home is that we're going to have to beat some good sides to compete in the finals, and that's the same for every other side that's vying for that, 6th, 7th, 8th position. They're going to have to, whoever gets into those positions is really going to earn it, because they're going to beat sides that are either around them or above them on the ladder. So we're no different in that respect. If we get there, we're certainly going to earn it.
Has it become a bit of a mental thing?
No, not at all. I mean, I think that we've just been outclassed by 2 sides this year. I mean, Collingwood got us twice and Geelong got us. Every other game this year, we thought we had our chances to win the game. So, we should maybe redefine the top 4 to the top 2. No, I think he's returned pretty much as he left off. So he hasn't lost any of his ability, and it's just a matter of getting his mobility back. And he's a unique athlete, and he's performing pretty much as we expected him to, and that's because we've got such high expectations. So, no, we're really pleased with the way he's come back.
Pretty much, I suppose, the first time he's been able to play a whole season.
Yeah.
It seems to have really found his best role.
Well, that was always our intention, to play him as that key forward, because he is so versatile, and he's a look. He could be a genuine ruckman in his own right if we played him there all season. But Todd Goldstein's come along really well, and we've been keen to settle our side down so that we're not plugging gaps in our side. We're actually getting our structure right so that we can develop young players underneath, and we've given some young players some great opportunity to fulfil important roles in the team, and they're really starting to hold up their end of the bargain now. So we're starting to that structure's starting to look a lot better.
Going back to Hamish, you mentioned he's clearly capable of being in your best 22, but is there a chance he just won't play senior footy this year?
No, I think that's largely up to his performance. I mean, I think that we've got a unique opportunity where we've got 2 outstanding ruckmen, and Hamish is an all-Australian standard ruckman. So, I think that it could be a massive weapon for us, and the West Coast is showing at the moment just how dominant it can be when it works, when you play 2 genuine ruckmen, in tandem. So, I think Hamish and Goldie have got the capabilities to have that sort of a relationship and that partnership. But we've got to make sure Hamish comes back in his best form. We're not going to expose him to AFL footy when he's not quite right. So, I'm sure there'll come a time where we've got a really tough decision to make, but we're not just there yet.
There were comments in this morning's paper from Peter Jess saying that fans would be naive to think that the AFL might not have a drug problem on its hands if it's targeting 50 odd players each year for specific drug testing. Stupid? Or?
I think that, from my experience as a player and observing as a coach, I don't think any player would be silly enough to even contemplate taking performance-enhancing drugs. The testing protocols now are so stringent that if you're taking them, you'll get caught. So I've got full confidence in the system, and I think that's a little naive to make that comment personally, because from where I sit, it is impossible for a player to get away with it. Now, they might get away with it for weeks, maybe a month, but they'll get caught in the long run because the testing's so good.
Aaron Mullen, Brad's been in great form in the VFL. Is there any chance to be elevated this week?
He is a chance. Yeah, look, he's been in great form, and we've been really impressed with him as a wingman, and he's a beautiful kick of the footy, and it's got genuine pace. So we're looking really closely at him, and if his performances keep trending in the direction they're going now, I think we'll get an opportunity before the season's out.
Any other injury concerns or definite ins or outs?
Nothing really to report. I mean, in terms of our ins and outs, Lindsay Thomas definitely won't play, and Hamish McIntosh definitely won't play. So they're the 2 that I think our supporters would be thinking were a chance to play this week, but we don't think they're quite ready. So we'll go in with the team that's done the job for us in the last couple of weeks.
Cheers.
Okay, thanks guys.